Quantum Zilch. I'm Dennis Regan. I'm the host here. All of this is coming to you from an abandoned factory in the middle of nowhere. Last time here on Quantum Zilch, I had a little bit of culture, and by reading a poem. And what I want to do today is continue with that effort. Today's segment is called Shakespeare Theater. Shakespeare. You know what? I just realized something. Last time, I perfected that machine to show pictures here right on the internet. And this would be a great opportunity to use that. Forget you saw that sign. Let's pull out the old Thomas Edison picture show machine. Actually, it's not old. This is state of the art. What we're going to do is we're going to show. This is a great chance for us to do this here. Let me get the right level here. How great is that? It's time for Shakespeare Theater. Okay, that is great. Now let's get rid of that with, no, that's upside down. Let's see if this will switch it to the right level. Curses! Now the cow shows up. All right, let me get rid of the cow. Okay, good. Now let's just get rid of the machinery, and it's time for Shakespeare Theater. Okay, so Shakespeare Theater. What we're going to do here today is two little plays, two very short plays, actually playlets or vignettes or just scenes really. And the first one is about McDonald's. Oh, I can't do these plays all by myself. I have enlisted a little bit of help. I needed another actor, so I've enlisted Sir Anthony Hopkins, one of the greatest actors around today. He's won an Oscar and some other stuff, I'm not sure, but he's very good, and we're lucky to have him here. He's out in the hall right now, looking over his lines and waiting for me to call him. 1 minute, Mr. Hopkins. 1 minute. So the first scene is called McBite. It's about McDonald's. And you know how Shakespeare had Macbeth? This is McBite. And I was in a McDonald's not too long ago, and I noticed that they had upgraded the interior of the restaurants. And I had read that they had planned to do this, and I saw here on this day that they had done it. So it led me to believe that the following scene, the scene you're about to see, must have happened at some point at McDonald's headquarters. Get in here, Hopkins. Okay, again, thank you for coming. And you feel like you know your lines pretty well?
I think so.
Yeah, and you've been working on the American accent because your character is an American.
It should be fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, Mr. Hopkins, this scene takes place in McDonald's headquarters, in a big, tall building in one of those huge office buildings, and we're in the meeting room. And Mr. Hopkins is going to play the big boss who's running the meeting, Mr. Wilcox. He's going to play Mr. Wilcox, the big boss, and I'm going to play a younger executive, like in his late 30s, that kind of thing, named Henderson. And I want to put on this tie just to kind of put me in the role a little bit. I'm not going to tie my tie all the way. Just kind of use your imagination. Use your imagination to imagine that my tie is tied all the way. I can't get it. So I think we're ready to go. You have the first line. So whenever you're ready.
So, before we wrap this up, does anyone have any ideas about ways we can improve our business selling hamburgers? Yes, Mr. Henderson, you have an idea?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was thinking, why don't we make our places nice?
Nice? I don't follow.
Well, nice. Make the interior nice. I mean, right now, people love our hamburgers. They love our food. That's not the problem. We've sold 1,000 billion hamburgers. Is that a billion? So they like the food. That's not the problem. But the thing is, the interior. We've been in business for over 50 years, and the interior of our restaurants has always just been very plain tables and chairs and no decor really to speak of. Maybe a picture of a clown or something. But we have huge windows, and they're always just completely covered with posters for 99-cent McNuggets. So that's all you see is a backward 99. And we rarely ever send anybody out to sweep the floor or wipe off the tables or anything like that.
I'm listening.
Well, I'm thinking, the drive-thru is very popular, and I think one of the reasons the drive-thru is as popular as it is because people want to get our hamburgers. They just don't want to come in. They don't want to deal with the place. So I was thinking we would do some things to elevate the experience of coming in. Just make the places nice. That would improve our business.
Henderson, you just might have something there. I'm going to form a special committee to discuss your idea.
Okay, well, that was McBite. I hope you enjoyed it. And good job. Pretty good job there, Tony. Really. I was pleasantly surprised. And this next scene takes place at Denny's. At a Denny's headquarters. And you know how Shakespeare had Hamlet. He wrote the play Hamlet, which is a great play. This is called Omelet. It's called Omelet. It's about Denny's. And I was in a Denny's recently, and my experience there and what I saw led me to believe that the scene you're about to see, the following scene, must have occurred at some point in Denny's headquarters. In the same scene, the same setting, the big office building with the big long table and the executives sitting around it. And Hopkins here is going to play Wilcox, the same character, and I'm going to play the same character as well. So anytime you're ready.
Okay, well, before we end this meeting, does anyone have anything that they would like to add? Yes, Henderson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been thinking, why don't we make our places, our restaurants, why don't we make them unpleasant?
Unpleasant? I don't follow.
Well, I mean unpleasant. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what we could do. We could hang television screens, large television screens throughout the dining area, from the ceiling, hang them from the ceiling, and then run a commercial, a continuous commercial for Denny's on a loop, just a 24-hour loop. Run the commercial throughout the restaurant continuously.
I'm listening.
Well, what it would do was, first of all, it would be loud. It would make them quite loud, and it could be difficult for anyone there having a meal with someone else to have a conversation with that person. That would be difficult. They'd have to sort of shout. And also, it would be a continuous onslaught of images of food. Pancakes, waffles, bacon, ham, sausage, all this kinds of stuff, which is particularly off-putting to to people who are trying to have a meal, to be this continuous, ridiculous onslaught, bombardment of images of food coming at them while they're eating, and especially after they've already had their meal. Just to keep it coming is ridiculous.
Anything else?
Well, you have to remember that we would also be subjecting our wait staff to these images and these sounds and this continuous bombardment of images and commercial bits and stuff, bites. So it would make them more irritable and more unpleasant, and that would help to serve to just the overall unpleasantness that I'm suggesting here.
I don't see the upside.
Well, no, sir. I'm not saying that there's an upside to this. I'm just saying that this is something that we might want to consider doing.
You know what, Henderson? Let's do it. In fact, I'm putting you in charge of the entire operation. Bravo!
All right, Henderson!
Okay, well that ends Omelet. That's the end of Omelet. And I hope you enjoyed Omelet. I hope you enjoyed Shakespeare Theater, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Quantum Zilch. Tony, Sir Tony, whatever, I want to thank you for coming. I hope to have you again. That ends this episode of Quantum Zilch and the meat. I'm sorry?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Right? No, thank you. You did a good job. I hope to have you back again sometime. All right, that ends this episode of Quantum Zilch. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, take care of yourself and look out for each other.